Did you know that behind the dazzling success of middle-aged people in America, they are silently facing what kinds of challenges? Have you ever wondered if those who seem to have it all are truly happy? I am Dr. James, an internist in San Francisco, who has accompanied hundreds of middle-aged patients over the past 15 years. I have heard untold stories, the hidden feelings that only in my clinic I truly understand. Today, I want to share with you the most authentic experiences, the secrets about mental health and life of middle-aged people in America. Are you ready to step into that world with me to understand, to empathize, and to find ways to live healthier and happier? The stories I'm about to tell are not rare cases or special situations. They are the stories of many middle-aged people living around us, maybe colleagues, relatives, or even yourself. They all share one thing in common. Though they may seem successful and stable on the outside, inside there are pains and mental pressures that few dare to reveal. Let's start with the story of John, a 48-year-old tech engineer, whose story will make you rethink how we view middle age and mental health. John used to be the silent hero in his company, the one everyone trusted when projects hit difficulties. He was always the first to arrive and the last to leave, always willing to take on the hardest tasks. People saw a successful, dedicated man, but few knew that behind that glory was a soul growing tired and wounded, unseen by anyone. At 48, for John, it was not just turning a new chapter in life, but the time he began facing mounting pressures, endless deadlines at work, body aches from lack of exercise, and long-lasting stress. But the scariest were the long sleepless nights when his mind was overwhelmed by anxious thoughts about the future, unfinished responsibilities, and the expectations of family and society. Once, after a nearly 14-hour workday, John sat before me with tired eyes and a forced voice. "I feel like a robot, just working and then returning home in silence. I feel empty, losing all joy in life." That sentence hit me hard, because I knew John was not alone. Many middle-aged people like him, silent heroes in society, are secretly enduring loneliness, pressure, and wounds no one understands. They carry the heavy burden of family, finances, and work, but forget that they themselves need love and care. And especially, mental health, the most easily forgotten but the most important thing in each person's life. John shared another secret he had never told anyone. "Sometimes I wonder, am I really living, or just existing day by day? I fear that if this continues, one day I will lose myself." I looked into his eyes and said, "John, you are not alone. That feeling is real, but it's not the end. Sometimes, stopping for a moment, listening to yourself, seeking help, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable is the greatest strength." From John's story, I realized not everyone can easily open up about their deepest feelings. But the moment those words are spoken is when we start opening the door for change, for a more balanced and meaningful life. Gentle professional sharing. Middle age is a turning point, not only for the body but also for the soul. Sleepless nights and prolonged stress can become invisible enemies, destroying your health day by day. Recognizing these signs early, listening to yourself, and seeking support not only helps you become healthier, but also helps you find joy and peace in life again. The story of Mrs. Susan, a 52-year-old elementary school teacher. Susan used to be a shining light for many generations of students. Every day, she came to class with a heart full of passion, inspiring her students not only with knowledge but also with faith and hope. But time waits for no one. Her children have grown up, left the nest to start their own lives, and she suddenly found herself standing still, facing an unanswered emptiness. One quiet autumn afternoon, when the gentle golden sunlight filtered through the clinic window, Susan shared with me, "I feel like I've become invisible in the very home that used to be filled with laughter. Everyone is busy with their own lives, and I am left only with loneliness and a deep longing." Her eyes were quiet, but held a profound sadness in which many middle-aged people might see their own reflections. Loneliness is not a choice, but a silent pain, an invisible gap between her and the loved ones she once devoted herself to. There are nights when I lie awake, wondering if I still have any value in the eyes of my children in this society," she whispered. I know Susan is not an isolated case. Many people, especially middle-aged women, silently endure this sense of alienation and invisible loss. I said to her, "Mrs. Susan, that feeling is real and undeniable, but you are not alone. Each of us needs connection not just through words, but through the smallest actions. Allow yourself to step outside, rediscover joy through hobbies, new relationships, and community activities." She looked at me, her eyes gradually lighting up with a gentle hope, as if for the first time in a long while, she found a door opening ahead. Gentle professional insight. Feelings of loneliness and alienation negatively impact both mental and physical health. Those experiencing this stage are at higher risk of depression, anxiety, and weakened immune systems. Maintaining social relationships, participating in community activities, or simply finding a new hobby can become valuable mental medicines to help balance life. Don't hesitate to seek support from loved ones, friends, or professionals when needed. The story of Mr. Michael, a successful businessman, 55 years old. Michael was once the epitome of success in everyone's eyes. A brilliant career, a luxurious home, and expensive cars. To many, it was the result of a lifetime of relentless effort. But behind the dazzling lights, he was facing an invisible emptiness no one could see. One morning, when he came to the clinic with symptoms of a rapid heartbeat and shortness of breath, Michael confessed to me tiredly, "I have spent my whole life building this career, but now I don't know who I am living for anymore. I feel lonely even in the very home I have worked so hard to build." That loneliness was like a haunting shadow weighing heavily on his mind and health. Michael shared that for many years he had prioritized work above all else, neglected moments with his wife and children, and forgot himself in the endless cycle of success. "There were times I realized I no longer recognized myself in the mirror," he said, his voice choked with emotion. "I understand that many people in modern society, especially middle-aged individuals, experience this state, success outwardly, but emptiness inside. Success doesn't always come with happiness, and sometimes the pressure itself seriously harms physical and mental health." Gentle professional insight. Prolonged stress, work pressure, and lack of life balance cause many health problems, such as heart disease, sleep disorders, and mental illnesses. Recognizing these signs early, spending time with family, resting, and seeking psychological support are important steps to regain balance and live healthier. The story of Mr. David, a 50-year-old stroke patient. David was once a very healthy man, working in the finance sector, a job that demanded high concentration and constant pressure. He was a model of success, with a busy schedule and a hectic lifestyle. But one day, his body reacted violently with a sudden stroke right at home. When he was admitted to the hospital, David was unconscious. Everything seemed to collapse not only for him but also for his family and loved ones. The surgery lasted many hours, and the arduous recovery journey ahead forced David to rethink himself. He realized that throughout the years of pursuing his career, he had neglected his health and the things that truly matter. After months of persistent training and care, David recovered. He returned to work but with a new mindset, spending more time with family and taking better care of himself. "Doctor, I am more grateful for life than ever before. I have learned the most valuable lesson. Health and family are the things worth cherishing most." Gentle professional insight. Stroke is the most serious warning sign the body can send us. Work pressure, unhealthy lifestyles, and ignoring warning signs are common causes. Early detection, timely treatment, and proper post-stroke care are crucial for recovery and returning to normal life. At the same time, it's a moment for everyone to look back at themselves, change habits, and prioritize health more than ever. The story of Mr. Mark and Mrs. Linda. Middle-aged love. Mark and Linda had both experienced great losses in life. He was widowed, and she was a widow. They first met at a dance club for middle-aged people. At first, they were just dance partners, but gradually they realized a deep empathy and understanding in each other that they had long been searching for. Together they shared joys, sorrows, and built new memory-small trips, simple dinners, and caring for the little garden in front of their house. Mr. Mark once told me, "Love came late but truly made us young again. Now, we not only have each other but also hope for the future." Their story is proof that love is not limited by age. It is a spiritual strength that helps us overcome challenges and find meaning and warmth in the days ahead. The story of Mr. Robert, a man who rediscovered passion after depression. Robert is a retired construction engineer who spent his whole life dedicated to work and family, but after retirement, he felt life suddenly became empty and meaningless. Long days passed with loneliness and gloomy thoughts, gradually leading him into depression. Robert told me, "I used to be busy with work and family, but now that everything has slowed down, I don't know what to do with the remaining time. I feel like I've lost myself." But then, a friend introduced him to a community gardening class. There, Robert found simple joy in caring for plants, while connecting with like-minded people and listening to everyday stories. He shared with me, "Gardening helped me find peace and feel that life still has so much meaning. Sometimes, just a little time spent on myself and nature allows me to feel happiness." Robert is proof that even after difficult times, anyone can find light and joy in the simplest things. A message from Dr. James. Middle age is not an end, but a new journey filled with challenges and opportunities. Through today's stories, I hope you have found a part of yourself, understood more about physical and mental health, and most importantly, know that you are not alone. If you or your loved ones are going through similar difficulties, open your heart to share. Seek support, and don't forget to take time to care for yourself. If you find this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss other meaningful stories from our channel. Don't forget to leave a comment below to share your thoughts or your story. We can build a strong, empathetic community together. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Live healthy, live happily, and always cherish every moment of life. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. If you like this content, please like and share so that more people can receive the value. See you in the next videos, wishing you a day full of health and energy.